Back from Karras Park on Augustana University, the Sunfish got the Trappers 3 up, 3 down. Or rather, Caleb Krantz did. 2 strikeouts in that first inning. No base runners for the Pierre Trappers, and that's the first time since Saturday that the Trappers haven't scored in the first inning. Jeff Mejia leads it off for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. He reported today from the University of Maine. He's from North Reading, Massachusetts. He's out in center field today. Mejia, 5'10", takes a breaking ball outside in the dirt for ball 1. Mejia playing at the University of Maine. Slider on the inside, misses. It's 2-0. On the mound for the Trappers, a guy who just reported today, Mason Torvey. From what I've been told, Torvey drove to Pierre this morning, swung on and missed on the inside pitch. A curveball. It's 2-1 to Mejia. But Torvey drove to Pierre, got on the bus this morning, and took the bus down to Sioux Falls today. So a lot of traveling for the pitcher. Swung on and missed a slider. It's now 2-2 from Torvey to Mejia. Mejia at the University of Maine batted .282 this season. Played and started in 35 games. He takes a breaking ball outside. The count now full. Our apologies for the audio on the live stream. We just had to get the microphone set up. Full payoff pitch driven high into right field. Backing up is Richie Williams. He's at the warning track at the wall. It's off the wall. Mejia round second. The throw in from Williams. And that's going to be a stand-up triple for Jeff Mejia in his first at-bat as a Sunfish. And boy, what a hit that was. That just kept carrying and carrying to right field. And the first triple of the season for the Sunfish comes off the bat of newbie Jeff Mejia. Boy, what a way to start your career in Sioux Falls. Declan Beers steps up. He takes a curveball on the inside corner for strike 1. Beers a lefty. Torvey a righty. So Torvey's first at-bat, or batter faced. He lets up a triple. A breaking ball misses outside. It's 1-1. Beers this season, one of the more successful hitters in his limited appearances. He was struggling with that lower body injury for a couple games, so now he's back. The 1-1. A 68 on the radar gun. He hasn't really hit 80 at all, so I don't know if he has a fastball or if he's just been throwing straight breaking balls. The 2-1. Swung on, popped high, but drifting out of play. That's going to bounce directly off the fence, the gate that's separating the Karras Park grandstand to the outer parking lot of Augustana University. It's 2-2 to Declan Beers. He's playing right field today. Swung on. Right side foul. A grounder to the fence. Bennett Osborne, Eric Mask, Richie Williams from left to right in the outfield. Osborne and Mask, familiar faces for this Trapper defense. And the infield, also very similar. Caden Cardoso makes his start at third again. He's started every game for the Trappers this season. Braden Cordes at short. Brock Reinhardt at second. Joey Bramonte pinch hit in Monday's game. Pitch misses outside. It's now a full count to Declan Beers. The Sunfish wearing their all whites. White pants, black trim down the sides. White jerseys. Orange left arm, teal right. Reverse on the Sioux Falls across the chest. Swung on, driven high into center field. Drifting to his left is Mast. He camps under it. He makes the grab, and Mejia tags the throw in. Not in time. The sacrifice fly from Declan Beers scores Mejia, and it is now 1-0 Sunfish. So for the first time since Let's see, that had to be last Thursday against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. The Sunfish have scored first. Zeph Hoffpower takes a slow breaking ball up and in. It's now 1-0. The Sunfish this season, only 3 games where they've scored first. Hoffpower, a ground to the third base side. That gets by Cardoso. What should be a base hit for Hoffpower gets down the third base line, past the glove of Cardoso. And another base runner for the Sunfish. They've been attacking these early pitches from Torvey. Brings up Will Olson, the Augustana catcher. He reported today after his teammates JT Mix and Mitch Stroh reported last week. Swung through a breaking ball. It's now 0-1 to Will Olson. So they're giving that a single. It was a hard hit ball down the third base line off the bat of Hoffpower, and it wasn't an easy grab off the bounce for Cardoso. Off goes Hoffpower. Swung on, fouled behind the press box. It's now 0-2 to the Augustana catcher. Was talking to Olson before the game today, the 5'10 righty from Omaha, Nebraska. I was asking him what's it like to play at home here at Karras Park, where the Augustana Vikings call home, and he said, oh, it's good to be back. He took a week off because as the catcher for the Vikings, pickoff attempt at first, not in time. But as the catcher for the Vikings, he caught a lot, especially late in the season as the Vikings were making their playoff push. And that takes a toll on a catcher. The 0-2. Swung on underneath it, popped behind the catcher, drifting back is Adams. That's going to land on top of the press box. Made a loud bang. Still 0-2 to Will Olson. But he took a week off after the Vikings lost in their regional, were swept. Just needed to rest the legs, but he's ready to be back. He was supposed to be a Sunfish last season before the season was canceled due to COVID. Finally gets to make his appearance in Sioux Falls, and what a better place to make your season debut. The 0-2. Swung on, drilled high into the infield. Drifting back is Bramante at first. He comes in, makes the catch just behind first base for out number 2. Again, for those of you just joining us on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube, it's 1-0 Sioux Falls over the Pierre Trappers from Karras Park. Jeff Mejia, in his first at-bat as a Sunfish, tripled and was immediately driven in on the sac fly by Declan Beers. The pickoff attempt at first from Mason Torvey is no good. Dane Frazier steps up. He's had a hot bat since debuting with the Sunfish. He's one of those guys to make his season debut against the Trappers on Friday at Karras Park. Slider hits the outside corner for a strike to Frazier. Frazier in his 2 games, or 5 games, 2 games, we're going to call it, 5 at-bats, 2 hits, pickoff attempt no good again. So he's batting .400, which leads the entire team against the Trappers. So he's batting .400 against the Trappers, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, 3 walks, only 2 strikeouts, and a stolen base. Pickoff attempt at first again. It's still 0-1 to Declan Beers. Or Dane Frazier. So that's not even Dane Frazier's stats. Dane Frazier's batting .333. There we go. He's 2 for 6. Pitch now to Frazier. Grounds it to the right side. Second bounce to Reinhardt. He fields it and fires it over to first. But the Sunfish tack on a run off 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. It's 1-0 Sunfish on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sioux Falls Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Back on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream. It's 1-0 Sunfish over the Pierre Trappers. 1-0 Sunfish over the Trappers after a triple by Jeff Mejia and a sac fly from Declan Beers. And the Sunfish have had 3 games where they scored first. Both of them against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks in their first win, the 8-0 win over the Whiskey Jacks, and then the 4-3 victory the following night. And then the other time that they had this first score of the game was in the top of the first inning against the Fremont Moo in Game 2. A fastball misses high and away off the hand of Caleb Krantz to Caden Cardoso. But in their 3 games in which they have scored first, fastball misses outside. It's now 2-0. But out of those 3 games, the Sunfish are 2-1. And I talked to Coach Walker Bullington today and asked him, hey, what's the importance of scoring first? Curveball just misses outside. It's 3-0 to Cardoso. And Coach was telling me, he's just like, obviously it shows. We've lost a lot. And when you have to come back on those, a fastball right down the middle, hits for a strike. And when you have to come back, it's a lot harder. It takes a lot out of the guys, especially on those road games. And so having a early 1-0 lead against these Trappers, who the Sunfish have dropped 3-2. Fastball down the middle, driven into left field. Drifting back is Tanner Wilson. He makes the grab at the warning track. A long fly ball from Cardoso ends up being caught by the newbie Tanner Wilson for out number 1. But having the 1-0 lead takes the pressure off of Caleb Krantz, who was 3 up, 3 down in the first inning. And it just takes the pressure off the new guys, especially Jeff Mejia, who first at bat, a full count, drills one to right field for a leadoff triple. Krantz delivers, fouled to the backstop to Nicholas Strong. Strong on the season. Batting just a 161. Fastball misses low and away. 5 hits, a double. 5 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Curveball freezes Strong for strike 2. 78-mile-an-hour curveball from Caleb Krantz. The 1-2. Curveball swung on and missed. A drop third strike. Strong's just going to take it off the chest, and that's 2 away in the top of the second. Third strikeout of the day for Caleb Krantz. Krantz's only other appearance this season against the Trappers on Friday, he had 2 innings of relief after relieving Matt Hess. 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Fastball misses in the dirt inside for ball 1 to Brock Reinhardt. So already topping his season high of 2 strikeouts. Krantz is at 3. If curveball off the plate brings the count to 2-0. But Krantz still showing some solid control on the mound. Fastball driven high, out of play. That's going to land on top of the building next to us. Beautiful sunny day in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Sunny and 95. The Sunfish getting the hot ones. Another foul ball lands on top of the building to my left. So not as hot as it was in Pierre. Saturday it reached up to 102. Sunday it was down at about 97. Fastball driven into center field. Drifting back is Mejia. He finds the ball, camps underneath it, just in front of the warning track. Another 3 up, 3 down inning from Caleb Krantz. The Sunfish still lead by 1 as we head to the bottom of the second. Back from Sioux Falls, a dance competition between Asante Wilson and whoever that was on the Pierre Trappers. Asante Wilson, I think, getting the dub. The Sunfish faithful showing their approval, and Asante Wilson gets the dub. He had some nice moves out there. He was shaking and baking. I think I saw the worm from him. Asante shows those moves on the mound as well. He pitched in Sunday's matchup, and after every pitch, he had a little move afterwards. Might see Wilson tonight. Who knows? Leading off for the Sunfish, Tanner Wilson from Lamar University, one of the new guys tonight. Takes a curveball across the plate for strike one. Wilson, one of 5 guys reporting today at Lamar. He had 7 appearances this season. High chopper to short. Cardoso had drifted over and he missed. It got underneath his glove. That was looking like that was bouncing deep to Braden Cordes, and Caden Cardoso came over from third, tried playing it off the bounce, and the scoop was not there. We'll see if that gets a single or an error. I think that Wilson would have beaten out the throw no matter what, as Cordes was playing pretty deep in the hole. Gannon Thompson, the Sioux Falls native, takes a 76-mile-an-hour pitch. I'm not sure if that's his fastball, because 76 miles an hour is not what a collegiate pitcher should be throwing. 68-mile-an-hour curve. Misses inside. It's 1-1. Wilson over at first. We'll see what this official score is, how he got on. Runner goes. Breaking ball. Hits inside, but Wilson slides underneath the jumping Braden Cordes for his first stolen base of the season. They're giving Tanner Wilson a hit. So 2 of the new Sunfish have hits in today's game. The triple from Jeff Mejia in the first, and the single from Tanner Wilson, as Mason Torvey calls time and Colin Adams makes his way out. The Sunfish lead 1-0 after a leadoff triple by Jeff Mejia in the first, and Declan Beers a long sac fly. 2-1 to Gannon Thompson. Thompson on the season, 1 for 7 with 6 strikeouts. So hasn't been looking too good as a Sunfish yet. He played over at Sioux Falls, Washington High School. Ball gets away from Adams, and Wilson makes his way over to third. And back-to-back innings, a Sunfish has ended up on third base as the leadoff runner. 3-1 now to Thompson, who only has 1 walk on the season. He reached base in his first game as a Sunfish back on Friday here at Karras Park. The 3-1 from Torvey. Misses inside, and Thompson draws the no-out walk, and now there's runners at the corners. Dylan Cricket Danielson, talk about having a few strikeouts this season. He started off 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts against his Wheat City in his debut. Cricket Danielson wearing the orange stirrups to complement the teal and orange. Drills this one into left field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Wilson's going to score. Thompson advances to second. It's now 2-0 Sioux Falls. His second hit of the season. His first one came back on Friday against the Trappers with a double to deep left field here at Karras Park. Benito Garcia steps up. Garcia's been on a bit of a cold streak. Hasn't had a hit since Friday. Curveball low and away. Misses. It's 1-0. 0 for 5 on Saturday. Took Sunday off. 0 for 5 on Monday. Thompson goes the double steal. Throw down to third. Not in time. It gets away from Cardosa. A double steal. So Thompson swipes third. Cricket Danielson swipes second. And now there's 2 runners in scoring position for the Sunfish. This is something the Sunfish have had happen to them many times. A pitcher in their first game of the season trying to shake up some of the cobwebs. It's 1-1 to Benito Garcia. So when the pitcher's trying to shake off the cobwebs, don't have the best pickoff move. The 1-1 swung on and missed. A break foul tip, actually. Couldn't hear that up here. It's now 1-2 to Garcia. But the Sunfish would allow a lot of stolen bases. And it was just because there was a new pitcher, and then they were trying to test Kalehuawehe's arm behind the plate. This ball drilled into center field. Drifting to his left is Mass. That's deep enough for Thompson to advance. The throw over to third. Cricket Danielson safe. It's now 3-0 Sunfish. The long sac fly by Benito Garcia gets the job done. Thompson scores. Cricket Danielson just 90 feet away to advance this lead to 4. It brings us back to the top of the order with Jeff Mejia. Mejia led off this Sunfish game with a triple. He ended up scoring the first run of the game for the Sunfish. The 1-0 from Torvey. Swung on, chopped past the glove of Torvey over to second base. Reinhardt fires it over to first for out number 2. Cricket Danielson will score, and it's a 4-0 ball game. So with 2 away, Declan Beer steps up. He has an RBI on the day with a sac fly that drove in the first run of today's game. And Mason Torvey, the Minnesota Duluth product. He sat out this season as a redshirt, and the cobwebs still need to be shaken off. A swing and a miss on a curveball away puts Beers behind 0-1. Beers out in right field today. He's caught in his last 2 appearances. He is an outfielder, though. Breaking ball misses high and away. Because I was asking him, I'm just like, what do you usually play when you're at Northern Iowa Area Community College? And he said, oh, I'm an outfielder. Swung on, chopped to the right side, backhanded by Bramante. He flips it to Torvey for out number 3. The foot race is won by Torvey, but not before the Sunfish tack on 3 more. 3 runs off 2 hits, no errors, no one left on base. The Sunfish have extended the lead to 4. We'll be back for the 3rd inning on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sioux Falls Sunfish live stream. Bon Jovi blasting through Karras Park. We're not halfway there yet. We're just in the top of the 3rd inning. But the Trappers are living on a prayer. They're down by 4. It's 4-0 Sunfish after they tack on 3 more in the bottom of the 2nd inning. A single by Tanner Wilson, a walk by Gannon Thompson, and a single by Cricket Danielson put 3 aboard, and all 3 crossed. The curveball outside hits the corner to the leadoff man for the Trappers, Joey Bramante. Swung on, fouled out of play for strike 2. For those of you who have listened to me on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network on our trip to Pierre, you know that my scorebook keeping the past couple games has not been the best. Curveball gets him looking. Bramante goes down on 3 pitches. That's the 4th strikeout of the day for Caleb Krantz. He has retired 7 straight. But you know that my scorebook keeping has not been the best. And it's because whenever we start off an inning, I always forget to go over just one. Check swing still hits the inside corner to Bennett Osborne for strike 1. But I caught myself there. Joey Bramante led off the inning there for the Trappers. And now Bennett Osborne, the left fielder, is behind quickly. Fastball misses low. It's 1-1 off the 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Osborne in 7 games is 3 for 19, good for a 158 batting average. Drills this one high to the right side. Hoffbauer took a couple steps into foul territory before realizing an hour on the radar gun for the first base runner of the day for the Trappers. That had been 7 straight retired by Caleb Krantz. And now a base runner aboard with 1 away in the bottom of the 3rd. Osborne, moderate lead at first. Swung on and missed by Cordes for strike number 1. Cordes, a sure hand out at shortstop, but has been struggling at the plate. Just 5 for 30. Grounder up the middle. That's going to be through for a base hit. A hard round around second by Osborne, but he stays there as the 1-out hit by Cordes. Scored 4 runs in the first 2 innings. They did have the 8-0 victory over the Whiskey Jacks, so they've had a 4-run lead before. Actually, twice. Also on Friday's game against the Trappers. But they didn't score their second 5 runs until late in the game. A curveball hits the inside corner. It's now 1-2 to Richie Williams. Field. Mejia makes the easy grab. So the perfect game and no-hitter taken away in the same inning, but still only no runs for the Trappers. 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base for Pierre. We head into the bottom of the 3rd with the Sunfish still leading by 4. Takes this one high and out of play to the right side. Our apologies to those watching the live stream on YouTube. We're just having some technical difficulties with our Wirecast, our streaming service. So if the stream goes out, we apologize. The 0-1 to Olsen drills this one into left field. That's looking to drop at the line. It does. And there is the first hit for Will Olsen as a Sioux Falls Sunfish. Augustana Vikings fans have seen that a lot from the big catcher. And now the Sunfish faithful get to see a hit as well. So out of the few guys in this lineup who are making their Sunfish debuts, Tanner Wilson, Will Olsen, and Jeff Mejia, all three have reached base today. Dane Frazier takes a ball inside. It's 1-0 to the second baseman. Jeff Mejia and Tanner Wilson led off the first and second inning respectively with a hit. Mejia's a triple. And Will Olsen, who just singled, dives back to first base on the pickoff attempt. Still at first base, the Sioux Falls native himself, Tyler Olmstead, who, if you listen to The Fish Tank, the new Sioux Falls Sunfish podcast, pitch popped just over the head of Torvey. He makes the grab, fires over to first. He's safe. The umpire calls floater over the head of Torvey, and umpire Samuel Barrett called the sprinting Tanner Wilson safe. The same umpiring crew from all three games in Pierre, Samuel Barrett and Tristan Jones. Tristan Jones calling the balls and strikes today. There's going to be now an umpire meeting. It's a bang-bang play. There's a couple Trappers fans in attendance at Karras Park today, home of Ronken Field. And they all were voicing their displeasure. Umpire meeting still happening between Jones and Barrett. It now breaks. The call has been reversed to an out, so a 1-3 putout to end the inning. Call reversed by Tristan Jones. So no runs cross off of for strike two. It's now 1-2 to Gannon Thompson. Thompson scored the third run of the game as he fouls this one high, drifting over to the Sunfish bullpen, and that's out of play. The Sunfish attacked first with the Jeff Mejia triple to lead off the bottom of the first inning. He was scored by a Declan Beers sac fly to give the Sunfish a 1-0 lead. Another fly ball out of play off the bat of Thompson. Tanner Wilson, Gannon Thompson, and Dylan Cricket Danielson would all reach consecutively to lead off the second inning. They would all be scored After a sac fly by Benito Garcia and a fielder's choice, this one driven high in the middle infield. Cordes drifts behind second base to make the grab. And then the Trappers attacking with a 2-out double off the bat of Joey Bramonte, scoring Caden Cardoso and Nicholas Strong for the Trappers, and that's how we got to 4-2. Dylan Cricket Danielson, who singled and scored, chops at the first pitch, but that's going to chomp foul into the hands of a Trapper player at the dugout. Before he got his single, I was about to dive into how Cricket Danielson has only had the one hit. It was a double here to left center field. He gets underneath that one and pops it out of play. Struggling with the strikeouts has Cricket Danielson. He started 0 for 5 with 4 of them in his first appearance against the Weed City Whiskey Jacks, and he strikes out on the curveball. The breaking balls are what he's been struggling with all season. He usually has been swinging at sliders low and away, and that was a curveball that just cut through the zone. He was in front of it. That marks his 7th strikeout of the season. Brings up Benito Garcia, who again, right before his sac fly, I was getting into, he's 0 for 10 in his last 2 games. Takes a curveball inside for a ball. 68 on the radar gun. And that's something that Mason Torvey, who is still in this game in the 4th inning, he's allowed 4 runs off 3 hits. He hasn't hit 80 yet. A slider misses low and away at 74. And that's why in between innings, I talked to the Pierre Trappers broadcaster about, does he know if Torvey, who is Caleb Krantz, the Augustana Viking, turned Sioux Falls Sunfish, comes back in for his 5th inning of work. Through 4, he's only allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks. So 2s across the board, really, except in the statistic that counts. 7 strikeouts for Caleb Krantz as his first batter face this inning. He hits him, Brayton Cordes. Inning, we're